What's up? I'm Ashley, and we're going to be breaking down Yellowjackets Season 3, Episode 10, Season Finale. But first, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And with that being said, we're going to start things off in the wilderness. Lottie is having a dream about Antler Queen, and at first I thought she was seeing herself. But after watching the entire episode, I realized she was having a vision about Shauna becoming Antler Queen. No wonder why she had long alien fingers and jazz hands. It all makes sense now. In the dream, adult Lottie says, I am ready. My will is your will. Then out of nowhere, teen Lottie starts screaming. Girl, shut up. Pick one. Either you gonna scream or you gonna talk nonsense. But it can't be both. Then teen Lottie is staring at adult Lottie in the morgue when all of a sudden, adult Lottie pops up off the table like a jack in a box toy. She goes, Oh, no, 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 no. Did I miss it? Girl, miss what? What's going on that's so bad that you have to wake up from the dead like that? Teen Lottie said, Shh. Even she knows her own self always got something to say. She don't even want to hear herself. That's good self-awareness right there. She tells her older self, Do you remember what we promised? It's time to meet her. Adult Lottie then walks out of bed and suddenly she's inside of her basement. And you know she got her candles lit and she has her whole ritual set up. There's also flashes of her teenage self, but there's a baby crying. And I'm like, who that baby? Where the baby come from? Adult dead Lottie snaps out of it, and now her ritual setup is gone, and she looks confused. Then she says, Are you there? Who you talking to? And that was the end of that. But we'll get more into Lottie when we get to the present day timeline because in the wilderness, they're bed checking Natalie. Just threw her out of her little hut and pushed her down to the ground. When Misty asked her if she was all right, Natalie said, Don't talk to me. She's still mad about that transponder, but I don't blame her. We flash to Misty and Natalie. After finding her with the transponder, she goes, F you, Misty, F you, then socked her right in the lip. I'm surprised she didn't lose a tooth or two. After Misty picks herself up off the ground, Natalie asks, How can this get us home? Misty tells her that Van has been trying to fix the scientist's radio phone and how there's a piece broken and the transponder could fix that. Misty knew she better got to talking fast or else her glasses really would have been broke in half. Why they still have Cody's head sitting up there like that? Lord Jesus, like it's a decoration. While Van is boiling water, her and Misty talking code about if the water is warm enough yet. Van says it's warmish. It's turning on now, I think, but it sounds dead. And I knew then they were talking about the radio phone. All of a sudden, we hear Akila say, No! Over there crying because all her animal babies are dead. She says, Just like in my vision. Looks at Lottie and says, How could it let this happen? Natalie says, Maybe it wants us to leave. She want to go home so bad. She trying to get up out of there. Then there go Lottie, talking again. We got too arrogant. It's unhappy with us. We have to prove our faithfulness. It wants blood. Natalie's like, We've done nothing but spill blood. Coach, the scientist, the guide. But Mari jumps in and says, But they were all our enemies. Lottie says, Mari's right. We haven't offered it ourselves. It's not a real sacrifice unless we cherish it. We have to have another hunt. You know Shauna ready. She said, I agree. And we have to do it right this time. We have to show the wilderness our respect. She don't care about respect. She don't even know how to spell respect. She never even learned how to spell respect from Aretha Franklin. So why is she talking about respect? She the last person that needs to be talking about respect. Cause she don't know what it means. She just want to do another hunt. Natalie says, I'm out and walks away. Shauna goes, Natalie. I said, is that her mama? Cause only my mama said my name like that. Ashley. Well, I know I better turn around and get back there. But Natalie stopped and turned around. I'm like, why is everybody still getting punked? She tells everyone we'll draw in the morning. Meanwhile, Lottie's standing over there looking higher than outer space. She looks so zoned out, I would be scared of her. Taissa wants Van to cheat in the card game so that neither of them would pull the queen card. Van says she can't do it, but Taissa reminds her that she did it with Crystal. Van says, yeah, for the shit bucket, she doesn't want to pick a friend or a teammate to die. Ty reminds her they're not all their teammates or their friend. She wants her to rig it so that Hannah will pull the queen card. Van was still hesitant, but Thaisa eventually talks her into it by saying, if one of us dies tomorrow, will we be congratulating ourselves for playing fair and following the rules? Van's like, hell no. The card game begins with Misty picking first, then Van, Natalie, Lottie, and Thaisa. Shauna is standing back the whole time, mean mugging everybody. She knows something's up, so she walks over to stand between Thaisa and Mari. Thaisa tells her, you don't need to take any extra risk. You can get back into your spot. Shauna looked back at her and said, now how did you get into AP stats? It doesn't change the odds. And besides, I trust whatever it wills. Not her trying to throw shade. She tells Misty to keep going, and Shauna pulls her card. Now it's Mari's turn, and she pulls the queen card. I said, uh-oh. It was supposed to be Thaisa, Mari, then Hannah pulls the queen card. But since Shauna felt they were going to rig it, she stood in between so that Mari would pull the card, because you know she hate Mari. I hate this so bad. I hate that Shauna always gets her way. Shauna looks at Mari and says, oh, tough break, Mar. Take off your cape. I wish Mari would have hit her in her mouth so hard. I was watching this fuming because, I never really liked Mari, but this season she was growing on me. And to watch Shauna give her this smug look with this smug smile on her face just infuriated me. Shauna couldn't wait to put that necklace around her neck, and she starts counting. Lottie joins in, and she's able to get a head start until they get to 30. Mari tried to take Shauna's knife, but Shauna pushed her down to the ground. Before she was able to get it, oh, now someone tries to take her knife. Before Mari takes off running, she tells Shauna, you deserve everything that's coming to you. And that's facts. Right as they're about to hunt, Travis stops Shauna to say, none of this is real. She told him, you want to make it 2 for 2 with your brother? Those fighting words right there. We would have been rolling around on the ground. But instead, he says to her, don't you ever wonder whose reality we're in? I'm pretty sure some of my thoughts are Javi's thoughts. My favorite thoughts are Jackie's. The slumber party makeout, the jealousy, the betrayal. Taissa steps in and tells him to back up, most likely saving his life because Shauna was about to knife him up. Lottie tells them it's not him, so she saves him too. He was clearly high off them mushrooms. I think Travis and Lottie was somewhere in the back sniffing up them mushrooms, since Lottie looked out of it too, even though she's always looking out of it, talking low and slow. While they're chasing Mari, for some reason she starts taking off her clothes and underneath is the infamous white gown. And I said, oh yeah, it's going down. And even though Shauna really wanted this hunt, she was out there paranoid the whole time. She told Taissa to stay close to her because something didn't feel right. When they come across footsteps, Taissa tells her maybe they should double back. These footsteps probably aren't even Mari's. Shauna's suspicious. Why would you say that? Maybe you're trying to let her get away. Who was supposed to draw the queen? I know you messed with the draw. Don't you lie to me. Taissa stepped up to her, looked her right in the eyeballs. If you know what's good for you, you'll back up. Ooh, about time. Shauna thought about it for a few seconds, but she knew she didn't want none of Taissa. She stepped back. She low-key scared of her. I think Taissa may be the only one she's afraid of out there. She's a deranged lunatic, but she knows how to pick her battles. Jen runs up to tell Ty and Shauna Van is hurt. Shauna thinks that's suspicious. She been on high alert the whole time. She said, you just want to separate us. Jen's like, stop being paranoid. Taissa told her, just come with us then. Shauna says, no, you go. Then she starts howling like a wolf. So when Taissa finally sees Van, she sees that she's okay. They both want to know what's going on. So that's when Jen admits she was just trying to give her friend a fighting chance. She was just trying to stall everybody and hold everyone up. Natalie digs up the radio phone, but she's being followed by Hannah. Once Natalie realizes this, she throws Hannah up against a tree. Hannah tells her, I'm on your side, I swear. Natalie's not believing her. She said, you're on everyone's side. Hannah tells her if she didn't kill Cody, Shauna was going to kill both of them. And that's true. Natalie, still not believing it, said, "You're following me because of Shauna?" With Hannah trying to get her to believe her, she says, "My boyfriend was axe murdered. I stabbed my guide, but she left out who she was flirting with, and I've eaten human flesh. I'm trying to survive out here." I do kind of believe her, but then again, why were you following her? Huh? Akila walks in and sees Lottie mumbling to herself inside the cave. She's saying, "With every breath, till my breath finally stops." Without even looking, she knows Akila is standing behind her. She says to her, "I know how much it must have hurt for you to do what you did." Then we get this flashback of Akila saying to Jen, Mari, and Melissa, "If we want to hunt, I may have an idea." So she poisoned her own animal babies, put on a whole show, out there screaming, yelling, and hollering, crying, talking about my baby's dead. When she killed him, she crazy too. But this was just all a plan for them to escape. Knowing this would force them into a hunt, she knew it would be their chance to escape. She tells Lottie, "You made me believe I could see things. Travis told me the truth." Lottie tells her, "But your visions did come true, just like mine and Travis's did. We're all connected to it." But I don't think Akila liked when she said that, because she picked up a rock and it looks like she was about to hit Lottie with it. Akila told her, "This is all your fault." Lottie says, "This place is in us now, even if we go home." Meanwhile, Mari is still running for her life until she falls down and cuts her foot. This girl always hurting herself. Now she's tracking blood. While she's running, she runs into Lottie. "Weren't you just in the cave, weirdo?" She tells Mari, "You see where you are. You can let it be different. You've been here already, Mari." Instead of trying to understand Lottie, she says, "Oh, fuck off," and runs her hard headed ass right into the pit. And honestly, that probably would have been me. Because if I'm in that situation, I'm too stressed to be worried about what cuckoo Lottie is saying now. I'm trying to run for my life. But all Lottie was trying to do was warn her, to remind her that she's been in that same area before, and if she just looked around, she would remember the pit she already fell in. On the bright side, Shauna got knocked down by Melissa and got choked out. Shauna was about to tap out, but Melissa sadly couldn't do it. She couldn't bring herself to kill Shauna, but Shauna doesn't retaliate. She just looks at her and says, "I knew you'd turn out to be boring." Even though Melissa couldn't bring herself to do it, it was still fun watching her get choked out. But now at this point, everybody walks over to see Mari spiked up in the pit. Van is distraught. Thaisa said, "We did everything we could." Van goes, "It's Mari." I don't know why they didn't rig it to be Shauna. Nobody thought of that. Shauna tells them, "Take her out of there, pull the stakes out, and fill the whole thing up." She walks over to Thaisa and Van and says, "What's the holdup? We got a feast to prepare." Van want to hit her. They dragged Mari's body out the hole, then hung her upside down on a tree to drain her, and made Nat do the honors. What does Shauna think Natalie has done now to make her have to cut up Mari like that? She tells her, "Prepare her for the night, then when you're done, bring me her hair." Her hair? She made herself a weave gown. Y'all want one of these? A gown with someone's hair sewn on it? What would make Shauna think of this? She crazy and she jealous. She probably always wanted hair like Mari's. That night, they help her get dressed. I don't know why she couldn't get dressed herself. And she's crowned the Antler Queen. I can tell you right now, no one decided to make Shauna queen. It was all Shauna's idea to make herself the queen. She probably said, "Dress me up as a queen." Before they all eat up Mari, Shauna tells them, "Eat and never forget this." They was eating Mari up like she tastes good. Didn't even have no seasoning. I was getting used to Mari. She had funny one-liners this season, and I'm pretty sure the writers did that on purpose to try to get us to warm up to her. Even that whole situation with Shauna spitting in her soup, I was on Mari's side with that whole thing, because you're not about to spit in my food. And she wanted her to eat it? She crazy. This is just like her wanting Melissa Kelly to eat her own arm. But now she dead and gone. R.I.P. Mari. The next morning, Shauna stops who she thinks is Natalie. And she says, "I want to believe you had nothing to do with what happened out there, but I have my suspicions." The person doesn't say anything, so Shauna continues. "You not saying anything is your version of a confession?" She pulls the mask down and says, "I'm talking to you." Now she shook. because that's not Natalie. It's Hannah. Instantly, she says, "What did you do? What the hell? Where the f is Natalie?" Her hair about to blow off. We cut to Misty smiling because the plan worked. And Natalie has now made it to the top of the mountain with the radio phone and the part from the transponder. She gets on the radio and says, "Please help, we're out here. Can you hear me?" And after saying that a few times, she finally gets a response. The voice says, "Hello? I can hear you." That last, "Can anyone hear me?" deserves an Oscar and an Emmy alone. It gave me chills. Can anyone hear me? This is probably what Taissa meant in season 1 when she told Shauna, "Natalie's the reason why we made it home and why she's paying for her rehab and all that." But even though this did work, I don't think they're going to get rescued right away. I think it's going to take a minute to find them. Moving on to present day. Shauna drives Taissa to the middle of nowhere. They were driving with Van's body in the trunk. Driving with a whole body in the trunk. When they park the car, Shauna tries to help Taissa take Van's body out the car, but Taissa tells her not to touch her. Taissa has rolled up Van in a rug, then digs a hole to put her inside of it. I thought she loved her, but before she rolls her inside the hole, she takes a knife to cut out Van's heart and ate it. What's going on? Why'd she do that for? She tells Van she's done forgetting and she's going to start to remember it all. Did it take you eating her heart to have to remember? Huh? Hair hanging all out the rug? Hole not even that deep? What if an animal come by and eat her up like y'all used to do? Did I miss something? I know Van's mom is a drunk, but does she have any other family or anyone else who cares about her? Nobody want to go to Van's funeral? She don't even get a funeral? When Taissa gets back to the car, Shauna doesn't even ask her what happened or why she has blood all over her mouth. And she shouldn't, because in the last episode, she was walking around with Melissa Kelly's blood all over her face for the whole episode. But she doesn't even want to know why she took Van all the way out there, rolled her up in a rug, nothing. Misty pulls up on Callie while she's at school, smoking a little weed underneath the bleachers, to ask her did she put something in her drink. Callie admits to it and says she didn't have a real reason, she just was mad at her mom for not letting her talk to Lottie. That sounds crazy to me. But with Misty being Misty, well, I can't say that I don't relate to your rationale. Rationale? Did you get the answers you wanted that night or right before you killed Lottie? Callie starts laughing like a Looney Tune, saying that's insane, until Misty pulls out Lottie's phone with a picture of Callie on it wearing the heart necklace. Callie said, "That doesn't mean anything." Misty said, "But your DNA does." At first I thought it was your mom, but she had an alibi. Then I realized mother and daughters share DNA, and apparently homicidal tendencies. Callie then admits to it. She says, "I swear I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident." But Misty tells her she will feel a lot better when she got it off her chest. Because, she want to know the tea. She said it all started when the tape got sent to her house and addressed to her mom. But it had that symbol on it, so she took it. But she didn't listen to the tape because she didn't know how to play it. When Shauna kicked Lottie out, she figured Lottie stole the tape. Then she remembered that Lottie told her where she was staying. So she went to go find her. And when she found her, she finds Lottie coming out of the basement. But then they both, for whatever reason, go down into the basement. Callie told her, "I only came here because you stole my tape." Your tape? Did it have your name on it? But Lottie tells her, "You're here because you want to understand your mother." So Callie asked her, "Does she just not love me?" Her eyes are so cold. Lottie continues and says, "It's like you're looking straight into the earth." Callie said, "Yeah, what is that?" "You know what it is. You feel it right now. I could see it the first moment I met you holding that gun, and when you drugged Misty. That was it. Your mother felt it more strongly than the rest of us. She sees it growing inside you." Lottie admits that they ate and hunted each other and did a lot of thrilling and terrible things. Callie still want to know what's on the tape. Lottie said, "It doesn't matter what's on the tape. It brought you here to me. It's child, our child. You are the child of that place. It took our baby and gave us you. She can't love you because she's jealous. You're just like her, but more." That triggered Callie because she don't want to be like her mama. And that's when she pushed Lottie down the stairs. And she didn't seem too fazed by it either. She was slightly emotional, but that didn't stop her from going down the stairs and taking that tape back and running right up out of there. When she gets home, she tells her dad, if it's not Shauna stressing him out, it's Callie. She asked him, do you think I'm messed up just like mom? He tells her she's not at all like her. I don't know about that, Jeff. Then he tells her that he should have protected her from Shauna. So by the time Shauna does finally get home, all of Callie and Jeff's things are gone. Closet wiped out. So her first instinct is to go over Misty's house, knocking on her door talking about, what did you do? No, Shauna. What did you do? Misty told her, you should know everything in this house is video recorded and saved to a drive at a remote location. She knows Shauna be wilding out. Shauna tells her her family is gone. They checked out the hotel. All of their stuff is gone from home, and Callie's phone is disconnected. Misty told her, I didn't think Jeff had it in him. Me either, Misty. Me either. Please don't tell me you're blaming yourself. The shock of you taking responsibility for your actions just might give you a stroke. Would it be that bad? She tells her you had the information that could have solved Lottie's murder from the get go. You knew she gave Callie the necklace? She's like, yeah. And your daughter killed Lottie. There's the DNA evidence. And she confessed. Shauna's like, what? She confessed? Is she in jail? Misty tells her she strongly suggested for her not to go to police, but to talk to her dad. Shauna tells her this was none of her business, so Misty says, well, she needed someone to talk to, but you were too busy eating your ex girlfriend's arm. Shauna said, why would she do this? It seemed like she wanted to be Lottie's friend. Misty had to tell her. Maybe it's because she's been lacking strong examples in the friendship department and kicked her out the house. When Thaisa and Misty meets up at the diner, Thaisa says, we promised to protect each other and to leave the past in the past, as long as we kept it secret. But what does she do? She writes a journal and leaves it out where her husband can find it. She murdered her lover. She mutilated her ex. It's Shauna's fault that Van is dead. It's her fault Natalie is dead. And don't get me started on what she pulled out there. The worst of what we went through, she fueled it. She thrived on it. I forgot that for the longest time, but I can't anymore. If we keep letting her slide, she's going to end up being the last one standing. I don't want that. Do you want that? Misty says, no, I definitively do not. Why Misty sitting there being so weird? Why she don't got nothing to say? She always got more to say. Speaking of weird, why is Walter spying on them outside? Why he following them? What's going on? But next season, it seems like Shauna will have no one on her side. And that makes me so happy. When Shauna got home, she turned the bottle upside down and eating a hot pocket, probably just reminiscing about her high school days and don't even really miss Callie or Jeff. She just want to go back to them days. She been blowing Jeff's phone up. He finally replied to her. He's just like, we're safe, we need space. Please stop calling me. That's when she noticed something under the refrigerator. When she goes to pick it up, it's the letter Melissa Kelly sent her. Turns out, Callie never read the letter. When Jeff walked in, he scared her and she dropped it and didn't see where it went. The letter basically said everything Melissa Kelly said she said. She said she's sorry about having her believe she was dead. She talks about her family and how she's been working on herself and needing to forgive yourself. Shauna rips up the letter and puts it down the garbage disposal. She starts crying. Boo hoo. Cry me a river. While she's thinking about killing Adam, killing innocent rabbits, snatching the necklace off Callie's neck, biting Melissa's arm, just a few of the horrible things she's done. So now Shauna thinks it's a good time to start writing things down again. She get her pen and paper out and says she's been trying to remember what happened out there but couldn't remember much. None of us could remember. Then she started to realize the reason why they can't remember is because they became so alive while they were out there that it cut off their capacity for self reflection. It's not because of trauma why they can't remember, it's because they were having fun. She's like, I wasn't a boring wife or mother, I was a warrior back then. I was a queen. I let all that slip away from me, and now it's time to start taking it back. You were only a queen because you made them make you a queen. And while Shauna was writing this down, we watched Teen Shauna put on the whole Antler Queen attire. So it was like an overlap. And now she talking about taking it back. She better watch out because she don't got no friends. No one is on her side. But it was great watching Shauna get her karma. And karma not done with her yet. Nothing went her way this time except the whole Mari thing. But that's it, y'all. It's been fun. I may do another theory video. Be on the lookout for that. But let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see my videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.